Steve Austin wasn't pushed because the company. I couldn't give you a good reason other than the company would not push young guys.
Well, I see it as like Hogan's people coming in because the idea was Flair and...
Hold on. Let Jim talk. Jim, go ahead.
I hired Steve Austin, so don't, but you're right. There's two, take The Undertaker, for instance. We had him forever. We weren't bright enough to do what they did with him because, very frankly, he never smiled. He never had any... we were looking for some kind of emotion and all, and we weren't smart enough to make him The Undertaker.
Why didn't you train him to do this? This is what developing a wrestler is meant to do. The guy worked territories and the guy did all this, but it was the first time that he was on the big stage.
Well, if you want to compare me to Vince, Vince McMahon is a smarter wrestling promoter than me, okay?
I'm comparing to you how I would book the company, and I'm nothing.
That made you happy?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I also want to read you a Flair quote.
Go ahead.
This is in reference to his leaving the company in '91. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get along with this Jim Herd. He kept lying to me and breaking his word to me. And this is from the Ric Flair record, but the Steve Helgen publication. I mean, the thing that I'm getting from Mr. Herd is a lot of dissemination, a lot of lies, and, a lot of BS. And, I don't see anything that you've said in the last hour and 18 minutes that has really changed that. You're trying to apologize and, make some sort of, concessions for running a company to the ground.
And why are you still listening?
Why am I still listening? Because this is history, man. And I'm a wrestling historian. That's what I do.
That's right. And I'll go down in history as firing the only guy with the belt. And don't let me tell you something. Ric Flair and I got along much better than everybody thought we did.
I'm just going by what he said, for the record. And Ric Flair's a very politic person who doesn't say a lot of stuff for the record. He doesn't, drop a lot of bombs. He's not Shane Douglas shooting.
No,
yeah.
It's not.
I mean, Ric Flair's very politic, and when I hear Ric Flair, just dog somebody out, it makes me think, wow. Yeah, when I see Rick Steamboat gone, Ricky Steamboat, who was easy to book in every position he was ever in, I think, wow. And I think Jim Herd is at the root of this. And this is the thing that you've got to confront. You've got to confront your legacy here, and when you do that, I'd like you to come to DeathValleyDriver.com and make an appearance on the message board. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll leave you to the call.
All right. Okay. Jim, got a plug in there. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I just want to say that and not in my defense because I don't have to come up with a defense. The ability to make wrestlers happy when Vince's guys were making a lot more money and all, and we couldn't spread the wealth, as you might say, to the point where we can make enough of a stable happy is unfortunate. But that's the way business is. If you own a shoe shop, remember someone may open one across the street from you and start discounting shoes. So. It's a legitimate beef on his part, and I appreciate him being a wrestling fan. I don't care how he feels about me.
This is from Kevin Donlin in Pasadena, who goes, how difficult was it for WCW to operate within the Turner empire, and how much bull is in that chatter from the unsuccessful bookers, and did it take you a long time to become savvy to the politics of the wrestlers and listen through their personal agendas to make informed decisions surrounding your position?
Well, that's a lot. I mean, it's one of the things I think that it's good for fans to know is that one of the possibilities that exist for you to establish a concrete format for wrestlers to understand, it changes. It changes week to week. It changes because you're trying to build stars and various things happen that impede that, and so decisions change now. I think we were handicapped a little bit. In fact, I almost lost my job when Terry Funk tried to smother Flair with the plastic trash bag. I mean, and there was a huge meeting throughout Turner, about it because outside activists were calling and instead of looking at it for entertainment, they were saying, this is a bad lesson for our kids and all. So, to that degree, we were handicapped through the organizations, and and our inability to get them to promote our part of the thing, including the sports department. The sports department wouldn't even let me borrow a set to put Joe Pedicino in. We had to build our own. So, it's hard to answer all those questions in a concrete fashion, but I hope that gives you some idea.
What were you looking for as far as CNN coverage? Was it like, I don't know, did you kind of want maybe like NBA coverage or something like that, or what exactly did you want to do?
All I wanted was for them to say we were alive and we existed, and in fact, in order to marry them, because they didn't want to help, I was going to wrestle out of the atrium in CNN Center.
I remember that idea, yeah.
In 1,500-foot atrium with their signs sitting out there and show the world that, hey, we are their brothers. But it turned out the fact that the walkways around the top of that atrium, the crossovers were not strong enough to support the kind of numbers of people that we wanted to put on them. In fact, Hayes was going to come out of that bar on that second level there, and we would be looking for him for his bout and couldn't find him, and stumble over the banister and fall to the deck of the atrium, which we had put together. And but anyway, that's it's one of the reasons that I think we might have been more successful. I think we were fairly successful from a startup. But to be more successful, I think we needed the association, and we needed them to bless what we were doing, and we needed the promo value on all those other networks.
One thing that I remember, and this would happen every year, and it was like, I thought it was kind of embarrassing, was like in, and I'm trying to get the years right, I would guess 89, and 88 they did it, but you wouldn't have been involved in 88, but in 89, you ran a show, which was the Flair Steamboat match from Nashville, and then the WWF ran WrestleMania on the same day. Mm-hmm. And they CNN did a big feature on WrestleMania, and never even mentioned that their own sister company.
That's right. They did
had a big show. Was having a big show as well.
They did the story on the WWF rather than us.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way it was portrayed. I mean, that's the way they thought about us. So anyway, that's water over the dam. Eric was able to get on the other networks with shows, and there's full support, and I commend him for that. I don't know how the hell he got it done, but he did it. And I think that's part of his success was unloosening the monies and the support.
And I know that. What was the thing? I mean, for a long time you wanted, the idea of the Nitro. For a long time you had the idea of the going live. Thought that going live would help the ratings and things like that, and eventually Vince McMahon went live, and then Eric went live, and they just was it just one of those things where nobody else would go for it? Because I remember your idea for going live.
We tried to do we hoped to get the Friday night show live, but we just never could get it done. We couldn't fight it through; they wouldn't do it. And the programmers, they were bookers too. We had a lot of help we didn't want from the wrong side.
Let's go to Chris in Toronto. Chris, you're up with Jim Hurd.
Hey Dave, how you doing?
Doing really good.
Good. Get the mandatory plug out of the way. Plug the chat room. Say what's up to everyone in there. And I had two questions for Mr. Hurd.
Go ahead.
The first one is, actually, it just comes to the top of my head. You just commended Eric Bischoff. How can you commend the guy that lost $80 million?
Well, I think I don't know when you tuned in. We acknowledged the fact that we don't know how he could sell a company that's lost 60 to 80 million and did it on talent that someone else made superstars. But he did, and I think you have to put commendations where they're due. He was able to fight through the hierarchy at Turner and unloosen the payroll and to get the participation of the vast numbers of other people with promos that we never got. So, and I'm not crying poor mouth about it. Hey, I can live with history. Anyway, what's your second question?
A while back, Tom Zink was on the show, and I don't exactly know how to put this. He was talking about Sting not being able to draw flies, and he was in the back with Ole Anderson, and Ole said something to the effect of, Sting makes $750,000. You could line up everybody in the locker room, and he'd perform fellatio for that kind of money.
Well, you know, I wouldn't. That's number one. Steve Borden is one hell of a guy. Met his family and all, and one great guy and one great performer. Why he never, we weren't able to break him into superstardom, I don't know. I just didn't have the ability, I guess. But he is a great performer. And a great guy, and Tom Zink. Hey, ask Tom Zink when I sent Wayne Coulter down to bail him out, of jail. So, and then he'll understand where everybody's.
But who's telling the truth there?
Pardon me?
Who's telling the truth?
About what? About what specific issue?
I
mean, no.
About Sting?
Yeah.
No way.